Okay, very quickly though, I wanted to discuss the case of Cassie Ong or
Yes,
Cassandra
poor Cassie Ong.
So she's been moved to the Women's Correctional in Mandaluyong since September 25, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Just to be clear, because maybe marami na rin pong nakalimot doon sa progress nung kanyang, wala naman siyang kaso eh.
None whatsoever.
Kanyang testimonya sa Quadcom, sir. So, number one, wala pa ho siyang kaso.
Up to now, wala pa po.
Okay. Why is she still detained at the Women's Correctional? It's been almost 3 months.
Because after the first detention order has run its course, meaning the time frame has expired, they wanted her to submit certain documents, which was physically impossible for her to do because she does not have those documents. The bulk of those documents are in the hands already of the law enforcement authorities because they confiscated them when they raided the POGO offices.
So who is this? Is this PAOK?
I really don't know, Pahaok or whoever, but she does not have them.
What are these documents, Attorney Topacio?
These are contracts of leases, financial statements, etc.
And she doesn't
Corporate
have
documents.
a copy in her home?
Well, you have to understand that she's been in detention since the time that she was repatriated. So how can she get those copies? It's in the corporate offices. She's a corporate officer. And we have already explained to the Quadcom. But of course, the Quadcom is a law unto itself.
And what do you plan to do? She's been there for almost 3 months. Again, this is a question that's been raised similarly to Attorney Zulaika Lopez.
Yes.
Where she was moved from the House of Representatives Detention Center to the VMMC, to St. Luke's, and then back to VMMC, where medyo nagkaroon po siya supposedly ng trauma. Ano po? What is really the power of Congress, or where can they detain resource persons that they deem or call out in contempt because of maybe they're lying to the eyes of the lawmakers?
It's supposed to be in the custody of the Senate or the House, as the case may be. That is why both the Senate and the House have their own respective detention facilities.
Okay.
The Correctional Institute for Women is not only an executive facility, it is a facility for convicted felons. And therefore, the legislature...
Ibig sabihin na sentensyahan
yes,
ka na. Oo.
The legislature has no business telling the executive what to do under the doctrine of separation
And
of powers.
what do you intend to do about that?
Well, we are trying to see whether there is some shred of humanity left in the Quadcom that they will release her during the holidays, as the Senate did with Arvin Balag. If you recall that case of the murder of Atty Castillo, Arvin Balag was one of those implicated as a member of the fraternity, and he was detained on contempt charges also, yet they released him sometime in December for humanitarian reasons.
Attorney, I know that there is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, a resumption of the Quadcom hearing tomorrow. That is going to be Thursday. Number one, do you still attend?
We attend, we render legal assistance to the best of our abilities, notwithstanding the harassment tactics of the chairs of
Will Cassie Ong be attending tomorrow?
If she is subpoenaed, of course, we will attend. We will respect the Quadcom. We respect the Quadcom, although we do not respect many of the members thereof.
Okay, but you don't know if she was being summoned.
We should know pretty
Bukas
soon.
na po ito eh. My understanding is the continuation of the Quadcom is tomorrow.
We have not received any subpoena as of this time.
Okay, but do you plan to make a formal appeal to the lawmakers to maybe release her from the correctional in Mandaluyong?
We
or
will
do you
so.
plan to file a case before the Supreme Court or question this before the Supreme Court?
We're still willing to give the Quadcom the benefit of the doubt that they have not turned entirely into monsters, and perhaps there is some little shred of humanity inside them that they know these are going to be the holidays, that they are torturing a 24-year-old female who's linked to the Pogos while existing may be tenuous and has not been proven, not even during preliminary investigation. So, the law should be compassionate. That is what we are counting on, the spirit of the season. But failing in that, then we will have to take the matter to somewhere else where we can try to secure the appropriate remedy.
So right now, you have no plans to run to the Supreme Court or question this before the Supreme Court?
That is always an option, but we are still counting on the better nature of these people, assuming that they have that kind of nature within them.
Just on a last note, I do recall reading that you had mentioned that she's having some problems.
Yes, and who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Under the circumstances.
Medyo nahihirapan po siya mentally.
Yes, definitely. Can you imagine, she's 24 years old, she's at the prime of her life. She has not been even charged of any crime. Her detention was railroaded. She was repatriated. She left the country legally, by the way. She was repatriated. She was arrested illegally by the NBI without charges being filed. That is a crime in itself. And now she's being denied her liberty just because of the whims and caprices of these people, including that crazy Paduano.
But if you have, do you not have, will you not be able to secure a copy of these documents that they're asking for?
Actually, under the doctrine of due process, if you cite someone in contempt, you have the burden of proof of showing that she has the document and she refuses to show them. It is not up to us to comply if we find it legally or physically impossible to comply, either on matters of right to remain silent or right against self-incrimination, or the fact that we do not have these documents.
Does she have the documents?
She does not.
She does not.
Because
not even in the office.
You know, all that the Quadcom should do is ask for copies from those who raided. They are there. But they refuse to do so because they want her detained for some reason that only they know.
Attorney Ferdy Topacio, sir, thank you so much for your time. Again,
Always
it's
a
also good
pleasure.
to see you. Thank you, sir.